Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in to the always informative, always entertaining, The Boxing Authority. He's joining me at the desk, as always, Mr. Luther Dupree Jr., Mr. Smoking Jim Frazier, and my name is Claudio Relsano. And our dads were not basketball referees, right? Okay. All right. But we get along with everybody.
We get along with everyone.
Okay, a lot of results happened the past couple weeks. First, we're going to start off with the new undisputed champion, heavyweight champion, Alexander Usyk, defeats Tyson Fury. Luther, your thoughts on the fight?
Well, another L for Smoking Jim. Smoking Jim, I tried to tell you when you said this foolishness that Fury was the greatest heavyweight you ever seen. Another L. 2 years ago, I had Alexander Usyk on my pound-for-pound top list, and you criticized me, humiliated me, and once again, you're proven wrong, Jim. But look at this. I told you I thought Usyk could frustrate him. I didn't realize that Fury wasn't going to have his the loaded gloves, the power. What happened to his one-punch power? The ninth round, the referee saved Fury again. There's no reason he should have stepped in. Look at him walking around, getting hit like a piñata. The damage that Wilder did legally is still taking effect. Look at this. But why is the referee saving this guy? There's no reason. He should have, unless you're going in to stop the fight, let him hit the ground. What is he doing? Why? That's robbery. They tried to set Usyk up. I'm so glad that Usyk destroyed all the guys saying that Fury was the greatest. He could do all this. He could beat Muhammad Ali. All that is a lie. When cheaters get exposed, I love it. Alexander Usyk followed in the footsteps of Evander Holyfield, dominated cruiserweight, came up to heavyweight, and he's one of the greats. He's one of the elites. I said it
Greats now
ago.
or of all time?
He's one of the greats now.
Okay.
And as he goes on, he may be one of the greats of all time. If he, beats, comes back and beats Daniel Dubois again, or beats, all these guys. But he's cleaned out the division. Fury, AJ, Dubois. I wish Wilder could have got a hold of him, but
you're right.
Usyk,
he has cleaned pretty much.
Usyk has done the deal in this very average heavyweight era. As I tried to explain to Jim, you have a cruiserweight destroying these guys with limited power, but Usyk, all credit goes to him. I'd like to see the rematch, and I think he could do it again. I do think Fury's going to do a couple dirty tactics in this one in December, but I don't think it's going to work. Usyk is the top of the heavyweight division. Take your L, Jim.
Mr. Frazier.
Well, when we did those comparisons, who would win if they fought, and it was Evander and Usyk. I'm the only one that said Usyk.
Oh, and I said Evander.
And I said Evander.
Both of you guys said that. I took a lot of heat. Because
you were wrong.
But it was a question that could have went 50-50. And I went with Usyk, and Usyk has proven his wares. Hey, listen, I think that he has to prove it again against Tyson Fury. First of all, Tyson Fury will never end up with 5 losses like Muhammad Ali.
Because he hasn't moved, because of his resume.
You see how it was quiet when he was. I still say Muhammad Ali is the greatest. That Tyson Fury is the greatest of all time. He has a chance now in a rematch, and there may be a trilogy if he defeats Usyk. I think that he played around a little bit too much, gave away some rounds, and I think it was a split decision.
It should not have been a split decision. It was. They tried to,
and the rematch should be pretty good.
Good, Luther. I'm sorry.
I really feel like they tried to rob Usyk.
Well, you said that as soon as the fight was over.
As soon as the fight.
How many turns you gonna get?
No, I'm just saying, they tried to rob the brother, and I'm glad.
The brother?
We're all brothers, Jim. We're all brothers.
We all get along.
Yeah, go to the Ukraine and see.
They tried to rob him like he was a brother. Let's say that.
You said that as soon as the first scorecard was read. You said
it. Oh, here they go. Here they go. They took a long time with the scorecard.
Yeah, that's right. My fault. As soon as they took a long time.
I agree with Luther. The referee should be fired. You only step in to stop a fight.
Okay, can I say something about that?
Yes, sir. Yes,
okay,
sir.
Now, and I thought about this. I'm going to use a lot of baseball references today.
Okay.
In pitching, you get a guy like Greg Maddux.
Right.
Or let's just say, Lee Mazzilli, whenever he played, he took a lot of walks. He was known for having a good eye at the plate. Greg Maddux was known for accuracy, right? So the umpire would basically go off of Greg Maddox's past resume. In other words, if he was just a little bit off, He said, no, it's not a strike. He'd give him the benefit of the doubt. Mazzilli, if he didn't swing at a pitch, they would say it was a ball, because if it was a strike, Lee would swing at it.
Right.
The official, in this case, didn't stop the fight, okay? Usually when you stumble back like that, they stop it. They grab you.
Right.
They didn't do it with Fury because he has a reputation of what? He's
Getting
got to
saved by referees.
Well, he's got a great recovery chin. So you understand my analogy.
Yes.
I tried to explain it best I
Very
could.
good point.
So, but the recovery chin isn't as good as it used to be. Okay, Wilder had clocked him. He recovered. Usyk hit him. He was staggering back. So the chin isn't as great as it used to be. Number one. Number two, he's known for feints. But you know, Jerry Cooney said on our show, a professional athlete at his top, when you slide a little bit, it's that split-second difference. Maybe he's starting to lose a little bit, okay? And he gets knocked down. I never said he had a great chin. I said he had a great recovery chin. The greatest recovery chin.
How many cruiserweights are going to put this man down?
Everybody
You're one
puts
of
him
the
down,
biggest
Luther.
heavyweights of all time,
Luther.
and more cruiserweights
Right.
put you down. And
Yeah,
come on,
everybody's
man.
knocking him down.
Listen,
I said recovery chin. Recovery. Defining recovery. After he gets blasted,
after a
he
ref
comes
gives you
back.
20 seconds, or a ref saves you from hitting the ground.
Boy,
hey,
are
listen,
you dark. Tan looking good, Claudio.
All right. So
Jim, look
I
at that
think
skin now.
I know.
You check, how's my skin tone, Jim? Come on, Jim.
He's getting lighter, I think, right? So again, Fury is starting, and we'll get to Deontay in a while, but I've said this numerous times, a heavyweight or any boxer, Toro Gatti, all these guys, Evander, you only have so many wars left in you until you start to decline. I said at my house, and you ridiculed me about Deontay and Fury separating themselves, but now, obviously, that's disintegrated. Okay, because they beat each other up so bad.
You're saying what I was saying.
But I was right at the time. Luther, I think the Fury is done. You guys talk about the rematch. I don't think there'll be a rematch. In December, it won't be.
No, there's too much money. It's definitely going to be a rematch. Maybe not December, but there will be a rematch. My thing is, all you guys talking how great Fury was, I tried to tell you he wasn't that great.
For the time, yes.
No, he wasn't. I believe he had a lot of advantages over Wilder. I think he had loaded gloves. He did a lot of things. Referee
what do they call
saved him,
that?
and you all
Styles
kept
make
giving him
fights.
credit.
It was his style.
It was his style. It was the dirty tactics. It was the referees. It was a lot of things. I don't think he was clean, because where is that one-punch power going?
When you break
Where
it
is that
down,
power
what
going?
Luther said, he had problems with Olean. He had problems with
Otto Wallen, yes.
Wallin.
For sure.
Who else do you have problems with?
He had problems with Ndongo. Ndongo dropped.
Yeah, that's
a
right.
Guy who only
He
fought
had
one
problems
time.
with every. Now he won, but he had problems with everybody. The big splash for him was Wilder, and Wilder knocked him loose a couple of times.
Wilder put him down.
So maybe
5
he's when you
times.
dissect it, like Luther said, you break it down.
His resume's not very good.
His resume's not very good.
Every heavyweight in the history of boxing had some things that you could critique.
Oh, sure.
He's just one. He just happens to be the greatest of all time. In
Jim,
my opinion. I'm entitled to my opinion.
and Jim,
Am I entitled to
you're
my
entitled,
opinion?
but you have
I
not-
told you back then that he didn't hit hard. He can only hit a 6'7" quitter hard. That's the only
Listen,
time.
first of
That's the
all,
only time he looked like he had power.
You're talking about a guy
That's
with more
what-
heart. You're talking about
I'm
really. You
not-
talk about
I'm
pound for pound, and we'll get into that.
Okay.
You're giving up 60, 70 pounds
Okay,
every
I was-
fight.
right,
We
okay.
have people
Against
complaining
Zhang
about
was
3
60,
pounds.
yeah.
So,
No,
Jim,
no.
you're not going to
The
disrespect.
excuse book.
No, those are facts. Those are facts, Jim.
Okay, well,
And the fact is, you're wrong about
No,
saying
I
Fury's
have
the
an
greatest
opinion.
era.
That
And
was
you're
an
wrong.
opinion.
And you're wrong.
That's an opinion.
Him saying Fury's
And I'm
the greatest of
entitled
all
to my
time.
This
opinion.
era, maybe.
He's not. Usyk's the greatest of this era. How is he the greatest? He just got
Well,
knocked
for
around
me,
like a
for me,
pinata.
Usyk has to do a little bit more. Oh, he did beat AJ twice. Coming from a darker skinned man, I think that, again, I think for this era, and we got to get the definition of era because my boy's going to screw
has
that all
no-
up.
he has no
But,
idea.
Okay, he did what he did. If he was in if he was in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, no, I don't think he does it. I think those boys
That's
would
your
have.
opinion, and I
Yes, it is.
respect it.
But I think those guys would have gotten him.
Usyk exposed him, and Dongo exposed him.
Maybe somebody
Heck,
can respect my opinion.
Steve Cunningham exposed him years ago. So
What would
Jim,
a Frazier, even though Frazier was 5'10", or forget about the Marcianos and those guys, but in the 70s, 80s, Muhammad would have made him look bad. Foreman would have. I don't know if he'd have recovered after a
He would
Foreman
have
shot.
destroyed him. Listen, Usyk had this man knocked out on his feet, wobbling around the ring. I never saw a big guy. He looked like one of those green things floating. He was just laying everything. He didn't land any punches.
Now, what about Usyk? Your thoughts on Usyk?
Listen, I've always been impressed with Usyk. When he was a cruiserweight, I had him in my pound for pound, and you ought to respect the cruiserweight division at that time. I think he's the greatest of this era right now, all time. No, this era is very average. He's feasting on a very average heavyweight era.
All right, Jim, your thoughts on Usyk?
I think I've already commented on.
He's already he's
So,
taking his L.
your thoughts on a fight, if they do have a rematch, Usyk-Fury, who do you like?
I like Usyk, but I think Fury's going to come with his big boy bully tactics, laying around, trying to weigh on him.
Flip-flop.
And, but I still
He was in
think-
shape this fight, too.
Yeah, he never looks great, like
I mean,
he's
he looked
great.
better. He wasn't heavy.
Yeah, he had lost a lot of weight,
Yeah.
but his, maybe losing that weight affected his chin as well. He didn't handle those punches.
Because you were flip-flopping there.
I said Usyk.
Oh.
I said
Who
Usyk.
do you like in the rematch?
Tyson Fury. And I think it'll be a trilogy maybe after that.
If they do fight, I don't think it'll be a trilogy. I think if they do fight, because you never know with Tyson Fury, I think Fury, I don't know, I think he might be done. I think he might be done. I think that split-second thing, like the feints weren't working as
Usyk,
well.
listen,
Is that a prediction?
Yeah, I'm going to go with
Usyk,
Usyk.
Usyk has figured him out. What
And he does well against big men.
Right, and he figured out all the flaws. He knew, because at first Fury was getting off with his uppercuts, couple body
He
shots
figured
that
him
hurt
out
him.
in a split decision? Is that what he figured him out?
That, they tried to rob him.
Oh, wow.
If you watch the fight, it should have been a unanimous decision.
Did Usyk fall for a lot of those feints?
No,
That's what I'm saying.
Exactly,
Yeah.
because he knew that Fury doesn't have the power that Jim thinks he
Usyk never
has.
blinks.
Usyk got those crazy eyes.
Yeah, he
he's
does.
the type you walk around, you see him.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
glad he's a boxer, because we all could be in trouble if he was a boxer. That's for
Charles
sure.
Manson. Huh?
Jack Catterall defeats Josh Taylor. Catterall now 29-1-13. Taylor 19-2-13. Thoughts on the fight?
Well, I figured Jack Catterall would win this one. He was robbed the first time. Josh Taylor's just a shell of himself. He stayed at 140 way too long. He's too big for that division. He should have moved up, but now I think he's shot his load. His career is on a down end. He's a journeyman. He's a journeyman. I call it like it is. He's a journeyman. He had a nice run. He was, he's undisputed at 140, but it's over.
Good, Jim.
Well, Josh Taylor, even when Luther put him in the top 10, Josh Taylor was born a bum. He was raised a bum,
on,
and he's still a bum. And I love
You're
evenly
very
matched
disrespectful.
fights. Listen, these are two club fighters. I love it. I want to see a trilogy. That's what boxing's all about. I'll go to the corner and watch evenly matched fights. These are evenly matched fights. These guys have got limited talent and potential, and they're tailor-made for one
Pardon the
another.
pun?
Yeah, I don't know, Luther. Stevie Wonder could see that Josh Taylor won top 10 and as blind as you. You got cataracts? Are you the cataract
You
age?
need to put your glasses back on.
How could you have him in your top 10?
Because he earned it.
He earned it?
He earned it.
He's 19-2.
Okay.
I was
Listen.
13.
Hey, wait a minute.
on,
I'm going to stick
stop.
up for you. How about that guy? Nobody. First of all, what's that guy's name? The heavyweight, Robert Torres.
Robert
Yeah.
Torres.
He's got 3
Richard-
fights. You got him
Richard
number
Torres.
3 in the
Richard
world.
Torres.
Yes.
Listen,
Yes.
listen. You
Yes.
don't believe guys can fall off? Josh Taylor had beaten Regis Prograis.
No, he's a bum.
He's beaten a lot
he
of
was
guys.
born a bum. He was raised
No,
a
stop.
bum.
You're very disrespectful. He
I'm
was
just saying.
undisputed
I'm
and was
just
the
saying.
king at 140,
I
but he
think
fell
right
off.
now-
When guys stay at a division too long, they fall off, much like Earl Spence stayed at 147 too
Is that another
too long.
excuse?
If he
No, it's
moves
a
up,
fact.
is he gonna be
It's a
better or
fact.
is he gonna be
No,
out?
I think he's done. I think he's
so.
done because his speed, his punch resistance, a lot of things have happened, but he's fallen off, and it happens, Jim. This is
Guys
boxing.
hit a ceiling. You're a football scout.
Yeah.
I scout in baseball, and that's our job to see if the guy's hit a ceiling or if he has more to grow. I think Taylor is done. He's going to be one of those guys who's going to get an ESPN main event maybe in California, in Carson, California, or whatever. and make a few more bucks, but I don't think he's going to get another
Bob
title.
Arum got on the mic and said he thought he won. He ripped those judges pretty good. Bob Arum is 90. He's
92,
still,
boy.
90, he's still ripping on those
throwing more
judges.
punches than
This is
Catterall
why
did. I mean,
American
Taylor
fighters can't go out the country.
Wasn't that a good fight? You watch them guys fight every month if they fight.
Like you said, though, it was, what do I always say?
Two
If you're
guys
bad
with
at
a ceiling
golf,
about
No,
right here.
listen.
yeah, if you're bad at golf,
Taylor
guys
is
got
falling off.
silly
Jim,
right
you're
here.
disrespectful.
Exactly.
He's falling off, Jim. He's falling
what
off.
do I say? If you're bad at golf and I'm bad at golf, one of us has to win. We might shoot 150, but one of us got to win, like Major League Baseball. It's all mediocre. Two okay
If I go to
fighters.
Josh Taylor's house, I got to crawl around because the ceiling's right there.
Oh, come on, Jim. You're disrespectful.
pretty good.
No, I
That
love
is pretty
it.
You're
good.
disrespectful. He's falling off.
Daniel Dubois stops the #1 ranked Philip Hrgovic. Were you surprised? Who did you have in that fight?
Ooh, Luke, you lost some money on that.
I didn't lose any money. Listen, years past, I was very high on Daniel Dubois. Until he got hit with some body shots by Joe Joyce and took a knee, and then he took another knee against Usyk. But he showed me something in that Usyk fight because he could have beaten Usyk because Usyk went down from a body shot that he acted
You already
like was
didn't
a low
knock him
blow.
down.
Daniel Dubois showed heart. He still has some flaws. That overhand right was finding a home all night.
Yeah.
If Hrgovic had some stamina, he possibly could have won. But I was very impressed with Daniel Dubois. More impressed by his dad in the corner standing up the whole fight. That's a big dude, too, by the way. But Daniel Dubois is a guy to be reckoned with. He fights hard. He's not quitting anymore. And he does some damage. I'm very impressed. A rumor, I think he might get the AJ fight September 21st.
Well, you always had Hrgovic in your top 10 pound for pound.
Yeah,
You was,
I did.
You
listen.
stumbled over that. You ain't say one thing about this guy
I did have him in my
Luther's
top 10.
gonna drop him like
that
a
has
bad
no
habit
love
now.
for boxing.
Listen, look, this overhand right was killing Dubois at the beginning of the
Yes,
fight,
it
man.
was. Yes,
it
it
was.
was.
I mean, he still can't get it. So fighting at AJ, he just has to throw that overhand right. But he comes hard.
Looks in good shape.
He's in good shape, but all those big muscles, later on, I would have wanted to know what could have happened because those big muscles get heavy. But yes, I did have Hrgovic. He had some losses. His dad passed. He had some things happen personally, and he has not been in great shape. And that's what happened. He got two eyes badly cut. Referee had to stop it. But it was a good fight. I liked the way these guys were going back and forth, but Dubois, the body work.
Look at that front row. They sour.
But Dubois is a guy to play with. Not a guy to play with. I think he's back in contention. Yeah, and Hrgovic, 30 years old. Ronnie Shields tried to get on him, but he didn't have the energy. He didn't have the I don't know, something's missing with him. He's still grieving from his dad, but Dubois
4
top
years
10.
later.
It doesn't matter. You can't put a timetable on grief, Jim.
Brett
and
Favre
he's
threw
He
not
obviously
fighting.
did.
Brett Favre threw 5
Come on,
touchdown
Jim.
passes the
Listen,
night
a
his
different
dad
sport.
died, so.
Daniel Dubois beat him. Daniel Dubois beat him. I don't think Hrgovic, took him seriously because they had a sparring session. He got Dubois pretty good. But Dubois has made great improvements, and he's ready. He's ready to fight for a title again.
Grief counselor Jim Frazier, it's on you.
Well, hey, listen, here's the bottom line. Evander Holyfield, we know Evander Holyfield, one of the most overrated
No,
heavyweights of all time.
that's not true. That's fake
Right
news.
up there,
Fake
Evander
news.
Holyfield, Ken Norton.
Come on, Jim. Two Hall of Famers.
Deontay Wilder, Edward Jones.
We're not going to rip all these Hall of
Evander
Famers.
Holyfield used to say, any man over 200 pounds can knock you out. And Daniel Dubois, or
Dubois.
Daniel, this is a guy,
Dubois.
Rocky Marciano.
Dynamite.
Rocky Marciano would have knocked this guy out clean. Hey, listen, first of all, the reason that he's improving is because he's active. These
Yes,
guys
good
are
point,
active.
good point.
Rocky Marciano had a short career, but he averaged 6 fights a year, including 11
that's wild.
in
Wow.
1948. Now, he retired because he didn't want to continue that enormous training that nobody else did, and he was seeing Sonny Liston coming down
that's
the pipe
not good out of that.
with
How you
14
prove that
wins.
wrong?
But that's the difference is that these guys today, the ones that are having success thanks to Saudi Arabia, these guys have been having success because they've been active. You see that Anthony Joshua has improved. The Chinaman has improved. These guys are improving. Daniel has improved
Maybe
because
Josh
they're
Taylor
fighting.
will go over there.
Huh?
Maybe Josh Taylor will go over there.
Yeah, because they're active and they're fighting.
You always say that about being active.
Yeah, you got to be sharp,
I agree
man.
with that. Yeah,
Now, the one thing
the
about
activities
Dubois
helps.
and Makhmudov, which we'll get to another time, what I
Overrated.
don't like is when a fighter loses, and what was the other guy? I always forget his name. The guy with the busted up nose. Oh, my God. He fought Wilder. Big boy. He lost the heavyweight. Not Arcola, something like that. I forgot his name.
Hellenius, Robert Hellenius?
No. I forgot his name. But he lost the
Most
heavy.
people that Wilder beat, you
Who?
forgot
Chris
their
Chris
name.
Chris Areola.
Chris
Yeah.
Areola.
Oh,
Okay.
What I liked about Areola, what I like about Dubois, what I like about Makhmudov, after a big loss, a title fight, they didn't wait 3 years to come back. They came back right away.
Yeah.
And I like that about Dubois. He's fighting again now. He looks like he's in line for it, and he did well against Hrgovic, who I always thought was overrated.
Thank you.
I think that if Dubois fights Anthony Joshua, he's going to catch him at the wrong time.
Yes.
I think Joshua gets him. But he's going to make a nice chunk of change. And he's one of the names in this interesting division. Not a
Cassius
great
Clay.
division.
Yeah,
Cassius
Jim,
Clay
don't even mention that name with Anthony Joshua, please.
No.
Nowhere near.
It's an interesting, we always
But
joke.
look, can we say AJ's back? Let's see, got Ottawa Lean, who looked like he was a shell of himself, and Francis Ngannou. Those are the two. So he's back after
Right, you're
fighting
right.
those
No,
guys.
you're right.
Neither one of those guys were
But
top
back
pick.
in the
Three
sense-
guys. He beat 3 guys.
Okay, Franklin.
but-
Franklin. None of those guys are in the top 15.
But
He's
back-
sharp. Don't he look sharp, though? Ain't he been looking sharp? Anthony
Against those
Joshua.
guys.
Against those guys.
Yeah,
A
against
guy-
those guys.
It's not what you
Frederick-
do, it's how you do
No,
it.
it's who you do it against.
Who did-
No,
but
stop.
No, it is.
It's who
It
you
is.
do it against.
But here's
I
the
can
thing.
look good if I'm fighting some
What is-
third graders, Jim.
And-
And that's basically what he did. He fought some
And
guys.
that's what he's going to do against Daddy. I bet you his daddy don't stand up the whole fight.
His dad might-
and
his dad
Anthony
might jump in the ring or
when
not.
Anthony
I think
Joshua hit
Joshua.
with the right
I
hand.
think Joshua will pretty much dominate.
How come he got the
Jacob
fight
Dubois.
over Zhang?
Who?
Big Bang Zhang, Joshua. How come he's getting that fight in September over Big Bang Zhang?
Oh, to fight who?
To fight this for the championship.
He's not. It looks like. Well, Fury's going to fight Usyk
Usyk
for the
in December.
championship.
No, this guy's the champ.
He's not the
IBA.
champ.
Who?
No,
No,
he's
he's
the
WBA.
IBF.
What do they call it?
The
Regular
IBF.
champ.
The IBF, yeah, he's got a
Regular.
major
Who
belt.
is? Who?
No, he got the belt. They
Usyk-
stripped Usyk of that belt. That's a
Usyk-
belt.
And who are they giving it to?
Daniel Dubois.
Daniel Dubois is the
But-
champ,
but-
world champ.
But we all
Well,
know
then
Usyk
big-
is
No,
undisputed.
we don't all know that.
He
We
is.
all know.
When he beat, listen,
no,
no, stop,
he lost
stop,
the major
stop,
belt.
Stop.
The
When he
WBF.
beat Tyson Fury, he became undisputed,
No,
Jim.
no. He
Okay?
got 3 belts, and this guy got 1
What
belt.
happened?
But here's
Was
the
it
thing.
an
Let me ask you a
undisputed
question.
fight, Jim?
It-
Yes.
What
No,
do we
no,
always
Yes,
say?
no, it
It
was
was,
undisputed.
but he got stripped
Okay,
right
but
after the
until
fight.
somebody
It
beats
was
him-
undefeated
okay.
It was undisputed for 5 minutes.
Okay,
Now it's not.
until somebody
Now it's
beats him, he's
fractured.
recognized as the undisputed
No,
champ.
and what? Jet Magazine?
Period. When he beat Fury, Jim.
You don't have the IBF belt.
Jim.
Does the
Luther.
belt make the
IBF has
fighter?
been-
Does the belt make the fighter, or
No,
the
the
fighter make
belt
the belt?
makes the legacy. This is a world championship.
The
on
WBO
line.
never meant anything until no.
And
What
it
was
still
my boy?
don't mean nothing.
Prince
That's
Nassim
right,
Ahmed.
that's right.
Prince Nassim Ahmed held it.
Right.
Okay.
But
so
the
it's
IBF always meant something.
when Larry Holmes first got it, yeah.
And
But
IBF
it depends
has
who
been
has
stripping
it now.
guys left and right. They stripped Bud Crawford. They're
Good.
stripping
Good.
Canelo.
Good.
They stripped Usyk.
Good. What's
But-
wrong with that?
But recognized as the undisputed champ is still Usyk. Nobody's
No,
beating
he's
him.
recognized as the WBA, the WBC, and the WBO.
When he beat Fury, he became undisputed.
There's
Until
4
somebody
belts.
beats him.
He got
when
3.
Ken Norton, the guy you don't like,
Bum.
when they gave Ken Norton the WBC,
Overrated.
Hall of Famer. Do not disrespect
when
these Hall of Famers, man.
when they gave Ken Norton the belt, and Larry Holmes had his version, the IBF and probably WBA.
Larry Holmes?
Yeah, but they gave Ken Norton the WBC.
Okay.
Did you consider him a champion?
Ken Norton?
Yeah.
No.
But you consider
That's what I'm saying, Jim.
Daniel Dubois.
He had
No,
no
he-
no, they
If he
gave
likes
it.
you, if
He
likes
won
you, he'll
it in
give
the
to you.
ring.
No, he didn't. Not Ken Norton.
No, this guy did. Won
he
it in the
didn't.
ring. That was the fight between him and Hrgovic for the championship.
It was the same night.
No, that was the night. No, listen. When Usyk had
When
the
Usyk
belt,
didn't
let me
defend
finish,
it.
Luther.
He's an email-
Usyk had the IBF. They stripped him after the Tyson Fury
Right.
fight last month, and they put up the belt. The winner of these
Okay,
guys
okay,
won
you
the
might-
belt, so
my
they won
fault,
it
it
in the
wasn't the
ring.
same night.
Just like
My
Joe
apologies.
Frazier won it when he beat Buster Mathis.
My apologies. It was
when
not
all
the
he
same
was
night.
fighting the government in the United States.
But Claudio,
I made a mistake on that.
Yes,
I made a mistake on that.
All that is true, but who's considered the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world?
Well, come
Everybody's looking
on.
at Usyk.
Come
Everybody-
on, Luther.
No, facts are
we
facts.
deal with facts. We got to deal with facts sometimes.
Yeah, so they stripped him.
Yes.
They stripped him. He has the IBF belt.
So it's Hrgovic
We've
would
been off
one
a
you
while.
would
That's why I
recognize.
messed up
No,
on the
I
Slade
would
Knight
recognize.
I
thing.
still would say everybody recognized Usyk as the undisputed champ.
Well, when Daniel
Dubois.
when he hit Usyk in the belly and he went down for 5 minutes, did you recognize him, Mr. Champ? I did.
The referee said it was a low blow.
Now he likes the refs.
I thought it was.
Now he likes the refs.
I thought he should have got the victory because Usyk was fake with that body blow.
Yeah.
And that's everybody has flaws, and that's Usyk's flaw. Those body blows. He doesn't.
Muhammad Ali had flaws.
We have a few more fights to talk about when we come
less
back.
than
So come on back
everybody else. That's
to the
why he's the
boxing
greatest.
authorities. Welcome back to the boxing authorities. Two more big matches we like to talk about on that great card. That is Dmitry Bivol, who is now 23-0-12, defeats WBA for the WBA IBO light heavyweight title over Malik Zanad, who is now 22-1-16 knockouts with a 6th-round TKO. Luther.
Listen, first of all, Dmitry Bivol, he's still in my pound-for-pound top 10. And a guy that we interviewed on our show, Malik Zanad, I didn't think he was going to get it. You said he was going to get this fight, Claudia, so good call. Once Better Behave got hurt, but very stiff. He fought hard, but he was in against a guy who's just a professional. First round.
Great word.
First round, he drops him again. He's leaving his hands down. He's all offense. If he would have had Donnie in his corner, he might have been more defensively responsible. He probably should look that way again. But he fought hard, but he was in against a pound-for-pound guy. Can't keep taking punishment like this. This is the first knockout in 11 fights for
He's not
Bivol.
known as a big puncher.
He's not known as a big puncher, so I'm wondering about Zanad's chin. Because Bivol's not known as a knockout artist, and he put him down quite easily.
Shook him up.
So he's going to have to tighten up his defense. He might want to get back with Donnie. But Bivol finally got a knockout. I still think he loses to Better Behave because of the power difference. I don't know if
we'll get into
Better
that.
Behave is going to respect that power. But good showing by Bivol. I'm glad he finally got a knockout. But, Zanad got a nice kudos after the fight. Turki Al-Sheikh said he wanted to have him back because he fought hard against a pound-for-pound top guy. But Bivol outschooled and outgunned Zanad pretty easily.
Smoking?
Well, I'm just going to say this. I know you guys don't like Lomachenko, but he won the lightweight world championship, and nobody seems to want to talk about that. And I know that this is yet another show that show after show after show we talk no women's boxing, but there was a co-feature on the Lomachenko card, and it was Nina Hughes, who didn't get into boxing until she was 39 to stay fit, a homemaker, a mother of 2. She's 41-year-old world champion at 6-0 with 2 knockouts and the greatest era of women's boxing. But hey, listen. This is a gold medalist.
I can't wait till Me Too come after you, Jim.
Bivol is
Bivol.
he's an Olympic champion, very underrated. I always thought he was a very skillful fighter, and there's no telling what's going to happen when he try to unify the light heavyweight title. But a very good showing. Way to stay active.
I might be incredibly biased, but when you have Donnie Lalonde in your corner, I love Donnie, you have the total package. You have the one-stop shop. You have somebody who can help you train in the ring and help navigate your career out of the ring. Someone who Donnie was very passionate about with Malik. Now, Malik decided to go a different way, and that's fine. Everybody makes their choices. As far as the fight is concerned, the first thing that hit me about this fight is something that Luther said the word. Bivol is a professional fighter. Again, a baseball reference. A hitter, they consider a guy who doesn't swing at bad pitches, who swings at good pitches and maybe goes the other way with a pitch or pulls inside pitch or whatever the case is. He's a professional hitter. You can't fool him. Bivol is a professional fighter. Doesn't make mistakes, doesn't waste energy, calm, cool. What I didn't like before the fight, now you may say it doesn't matter, maybe it does. Bivol, you didn't see him in front of a Ferrari. You didn't say, I'm going to buy this, I'm going to do this and do that. Bivol was doing what? Training. He was very serious. And we talk about being serious about your profession, about boxing. I'm not saying Malik didn't want it, but I just think maybe his eyes weren't on the goal. That's an opinion. Now, Bivol, who has, I don't think Donnie's group team would have put him in against Bivol right away. Maybe wait a little bit longer, okay? You say he's 30, but he's a young 30. You going against Bivol, who does not make mistakes, you can't make mistakes. Because Bivol doesn't make mistakes. And he beat Canelo, okay? So he just was outclassed. True. Would you agree with that word?
I agree with that, but I disagree with you saying you wouldn't take the fight. You're 30. This is the biggest payday. You have a chance at a title. You got to take that. You may not get this again because I didn't think he was going to get it this soon. And now, because he had a great showing, he's going to be back for another big money fight in Saudi Arabia.
Is he going to be a journeyman?
Yes.
Probably, but he'll be a rich journeyman. He'll be this is prize fighting.
No, you're right.
So take those fights when you can, especially you're 30. You may never. This opportunity may not come again. He had to take it.
No, you're right.
You know, he should have been more defensively responsible. But
well, another thing too, and you said it on the text because you
very,
were at the fight, by the way, in Saudi. But you said that he's getting sloppy.
Yeah.
Bivol, name me a time Bivol was ever sloppy.
Never. That's one thing about Bivol. You know, not a lot of bells and whistles,
right.
but he's going to have his guard up. He's going to have a good jab, and he's going to have just enough power to keep you.
But how do you not get sloppy if you're a good athlete, which Sanat is?
Yeah.
That's better training, more being a veteran of the game.
And he looked more stiff. His head was on the line the whole fight, real stiff.
That's what I worry about Morrell when he moves up, to be honest with you.
David Morrell?
That's what I worry about him. Okay, who do you like between Bivol and Beterbiev? We all love Beterbiev.
I just don't know if Bivol is very skilled, but I don't know if he's going to be able to take that punishment that the caveman Beterbiev is going to put on him.
That's again,
but he's having a bunch of injuries. Beterbiev was put closer to 40. He's having injuries. That's why he had to pull out of this fight. So we got to see how healthy he is. But right now, I still say I think the caveman, the green teeth, is Smoking Jim calls him. I think he gets Bivol just because of that power.
I agree.
But maybe next year, maybe not, because it'll be more injuries. He's starting to break down. His body's
weight.
His body's seem like it's breaking down.
Smoking?
Well, the king of flip-flop.
There you go with you.
50-50 fight.
Oh, no. He won't pick, but he would have called me
He'll win by either a knockout,
I'm going to
a
stand on the
stoppage,
fence, but
or
you're
a
a
decision.
flip-flopper.
Right? He'll either win by a knockout,
Somebody's
decision.
going to win by a knockout, TKO, or decision, or a draw. That's Jim. Come on.
Zhili Zhang, somebody that we, again, have been high on. Defeats with a crazy knockout of former world champion and Jim's favorite fighter, Deontay Wilder. Luther, your thoughts on
about this fight? Zhang, I didn't like his game plan. When I saw Wilder on the back foot going into the corner, I said, what is going on? This is not Wilder. First of all, give credit. He went into a guy, he gave up 70 pounds to this guy. A big monster, the biggest Chinaman I've seen in heavyweight boxing. You know, and then Wilder got wild with those rights. He was just loading up, and I think, look, that left, he got turned around. Where you going, Wilder? Hands down. Referee should have jumped in when he turned around and gave him an 8 count. The fact that he got up, he is an ultimate warrior.
No doubt.
The pound for pound king. This man was giving up 50 pounds every heavyweight fight. Put some respect on his name. If this is the end, I enjoyed his career.
If it was Fury, would they have stopped it or kept it going?
Oh, Fury would have kept going. They would have gave him 20 seconds, walk left, walk right, jump around the corner. Are you okay? Jump back in there. But listen, if this is the end, it was a great career. This man turned his life around. He brought the excitement back to the heavyweight division. You know, from delivering beer, his daughter's sick. This is the type of stuff that movies are made of. Man, put some respect. No, stop, Jim.
No,
listen, that he takes care of all his kids with him and his wife.
I think a few more.
Whatever.
He got strong genes.
Can I give him his credit, Jim?
All his kids look like him, even the girls.
Jim, I'm reclaiming my time, Jim. You'll have your time. Put some credit on Wilder. He's the last American heavyweight that we've had in years. He represented. He tied Muhammad Ali 10 title defenses.
Joe Louis had 25. So
Jim, he tied Ali with 10 title defenses. You're going way back.
Only
recent
record all
memory.
he had was fighting the U.S. government. I mean, come on, bro.
The record he has is the greatest of all time, in the greatest era, Jim. But going back to Zhang, he's definitely a player. He's 41, so they say. I think he's a little older than that, but he needs a title shot. I'd like to see him get it. He's gotten robbed by Hrgovic. He got robbed by Joseph Parker. I think he could have easily won those fights. He put both of those guys a total of 4 times and lost. But, you know.
If he was better looking, he'd have won.
Now you're judging his looks, Jim.
He's not the best looking Chinaman.
He kind of looks like you, Jim.
Maybe.
Your thoughts on the fight, and is Deontay over, and what's next for Zhang?
Well, Deontay has Lennox Lewis and Roy Jones' chin. Hey, listen.
Is Zealy bigger than Wilder's statue?
Stop. Hey, listen. Where's your statue at,
Hey,
Jim?
listen. John Wayne learned more about boxing than Wilder has in his entire career.
No, Jim, we're not going to slander
Listen,
Wilder.
I don't
We're not
want
going
to
to do
say
that.
he telegraphs his punches. If I ain't know if it was Wilder or Barnaby Jones. Hey, listen, Lou. You know what I mean? He's only won 1 fight since 2019. He's yet to beat anybody who is currently in the top 15.
Jim, we're not going to slander him on this, man.
Let me just finish this. The guy's a coward because he
No,
didn't
no,
do
no,
the
he's
post.
not.
Let me finish. He's a coward because he didn't do the post-fight press conference. When he wins, he comes in there talking about he want to kill somebody in the ring and all this kind of stuff, and that he's the greatest after fighting bum after bum after bum in his era. If you take away his statue in the Ortiz fight, it's questionable if he's even a Hall of Famer.
That's horrible. Listen, man, you're
Who else has he beat?
you're not going to get away with disrespecting Wilder.
Ortiz? Who else has he beaten?
He's fought
Ortiz.
He's fought who you said was the greatest 3 times. Tyson Fury.
Did he
3
beat
times.
him? Do you understand
He
these
got
words?
robbed the first time. He knocked him out completely.
Wait a minute.
He should have got
Wait a
that
minute.
victory.
Who has he beaten?
He beat Robert
Other than
Helenius.
Ortiz.
He beat Robert Helenius.
Oh,
He was the number one.
And he's not even in the top 20 right now.
Jim,
And
you're
what
not
he
gonna
should have
disrespect.
done, if he had listened to me
He
and
had
Claudio.
43 wins.
Listen, if he had listened to me and
Whatever,
Claudio,
Jim.
do you guys know in March Kanaki fought in Poland? He fought for the Polish title and got knocked out in 45 seconds in the first round. Wilder could do that. People like to see
Get
knockouts.
knocked out in 45 seconds?
Kanaki got knocked out. Wilder could
he
have
said
knocked
Wilder
him out.
knocking people out.
He could have. He could have
don't
been
know.
on.
No, you're right. We don't know
He
what
could
it
have
was.
went on
On
a
a
tour.
tour, that's right.
Knocking people out
Yep.
over and over and
That's
over
what he may
again.
have to do.
Because these are the type fighters he fought in his era. He
that's
fought
not-
in a
Luther,
very.
in all honesty,
You take away Ortiz.
No, we're not going to
You
do
take
that.
away
We're not going to do.
Ortiz.
You name another fighter for a while.
earned-
He was the only guy that put everybody
I
ever
need some
fought
gravel
down.
in my
He's
driveway.
older now.
Where's that statue?
Please.
He earned my I always respected him, but more so after the second Fury Wilder fight.
You just
But
exposed yourself,
who
by
has
the way, and
he-
I'll get
but
back
in
to
all
that.
honesty, what you talk about
He
resume
beat
all the time.
No.
Oh, he
We're gonna
claimed
talk-
it.
We're talking about
But there was somebody
everybody.
there to claim
They were in the
it.
top
Thank
10.
you.
But you hurt yourself though
That's what I'm
because you
saying.
say this is a great division.
This is a
Who the hell
different
did he
era.
fight?
It's not
the
the
same.
same era.
Listen, Rocky Marciano.
No, we're not
now,
doing
let
this.
me just finish because you guys attacked me. Rocky Marciano retired in 1955. Who won the vacant title in 1956? Was Floyd Patterson, the youngest heavyweight ever. And they fought in 2 different eras, even though
my God,
he was the next champion. There's nobody that Floyd Patterson fought that Rocky Marciano fought. It's 2 different eras.
One thing to your
The
point.
top 15, Wilder has not.
It did change.
No,
You're
they
right.
were the
It
top
does change.
15 when he fought him. You got to go back and see. Chris
All these
Arreola
guys
was
would've
top
knocked him
15.
out in his
These
prime.
guys, no, we're not.
With
we're
the
not-
China
no,
man that knocked him out in his prime?
No, because he would have been a lot faster and his punch resistance was better. This is an old version after 3
You
wars
said
with
he looked
Tyson
good
Fury.
against Helenka or whatever.
Helenius
that
is
bum.
first of all, that fight
He
didn't even
looked
last
good
around.
against Kanaki,
No,
too.
first of all,
Same guys
listen,
he was
Jim,
fighting in
Jim,
his era.
We're not going to do this. Right now, you're talking like a guy that Harriet Tubman would have took out on the Underground Railroad when she saw you. So just stop right there, Jim. Listen, Wilder has done a whole lot. All those guys he fought, they were top 10. They're not top 10 now, but they were top 10 guys.
Okay,
He
now-
fought Ortiz. Nobody wanted to fight Luis Ortiz. He was the
I
boogie
gave you
man.
Ortiz.
Listen, he was the
I
boogie
gave you an
man.
old
He fought
Ortiz.
everybody. He was supposed to fight. Who's the
He fought
Russian
bum
guy?
after bum after
no,
bum.
because he was supposed to fight the guy. Who's the Russian guy? No. That tested positive. He fought Anthony
Can he beat
Joshua.
Anthony Joshua right now?
He could have beat him
Can
at
he
any
beat him
time.
right now?
Anthony Joshua refused
Can
to
he
fight
beat him
him.
in this
He
era?
wanted to fight
Now,
all
one
these
thing-
guys.
one
These
thing-
guys. First of all, Deontay Wilder was one of the most ducked heavyweights of all time. That's on record. There's no other heavyweight where it's on record. Anthony Joshua said, "I wouldn't fight him for $50 million."
Name 5 guys he
That's
beat
period.
that impressed you. Name 5 guys he beat that impressed
Luis
you.
Ortiz, Robert Helenius. There's a
Boom.
lot of guys.
Hey,
Chris
all
Arreola.
right, you got
There's
one.
I'm gonna
That's
say
what I
this.
said. I'll give you
Arreola.
Ortiz.
Listen,
I'll
all
give you
those guys.
Ortiz.
I was
From
impressed
Stavern,
with Wilder
all these guys.
after the second Fury fight, not the other fights.
Thank you.
Now,
Thank you.
Listen,
now, as
you
far
get
as
it.
era is
He wanted to
concerned,
fight
as far
everybody.
as
It
era
Well,
was
he
just
is
quit
concerned,
in the second Fury. You mean the third
He
Fury
didn't
fight?
quit. He never quit in any
No, he
fight.
quit in that
No, he
fight.
did not.
He
They
said-
threw in the towel. His guy threw in the towel. Breland threw in the towel
fired
the
it-
second
He
fight.
fired his trainer.
No.
He said he was tired because his equipment was too
No,
heavy.
no, listen, man. Here you go. You're not gonna
I'm
say
gonna
He
say
this.
said he
That's
gained
not
too
true.
much weight.
semantics, okay? White people use that term, semantics.
I don't know
Now,
what it means.
Era, you got the definition wrong, but to his point,
Thank
to
you.
his point,
Thank
that
you.
you
Thank
and,
you,
and it's
Claudio.
but you
Era,
also
this
made a
whole
good point
era.
about
Thank you,
Marciano
Claudio.
and Floyd.
Thank
The
you.
the
Thank you
same
very
top
much.
10 guys aren't the same top 10
Yeah.
guys. They switch pretty
Yeah.
quick.
Yeah.
But you
Okay.
only could fight the
Thank
top 10
Right.
at the
But-
time.
And he
But-
fought a bunch of bums.
But
He
in
fought the
all
guys that
honesty,
were in the top 10.
In all honesty, he did. You're both right. He did fight that top 10. But who in that top 10? Ortiz is all right.
Ortiz was ducked. Ortiz could have been a champion.
we gave you Ortiz.
We gave you Ortiz, but
And
Helenius
nobody would fight him.
And Areola's tough, but
He was top 10.
I know that, but okay. And I'm not waffling here. It's just not a great division.
Right.
The
He
whole
cleaned
era
them out.
is still not great.
It's still not great.
But you can only
But
fight. You
let's
can't.
not
You
go
can't hold out
crazy
against him
with
and then go
Wilder.
crazy with Fury.
Let's not go
You look
crazy.
at the guys that Rocky fought.
We're not
tough,
talking about
and
Ronnie.
the guys that Floyd Patterson fought, a bunch of bums. You know what I mean? Bunch of bums when he held the
listen,
title.
this-
Wait. Do you
this is
say
what-
that you say that Wilder's Hall of Famer? Yes or no?
Wilder.
Yeah.
Yes, he's
He's
first
going to go
ballot.
to the Hall of Fame. I
He's a-
wouldn't vote for him.
Would you
for the
vote for
Hall of
AJ?
Fame. Yeah, oh yeah.
Why is AJ having a better career?
Clearly.
Who's
Who's
got-
AJ?
AJ,
Who's
Wilder
got
had
dominant?
one belt. AJ had
But it doesn't
three.
matter.
Because
for me.
what
Who did he
AJ
beat?
AJ
Huh?
Who
held
did
him.
he beat?
Well, AJ's still fighting now. And he's an
AJ
Olympic gold medalist. That always factors in with
I
me.
think Wilder, again, my original thing was he was overrated. I gave him credit for the way he fought that second fight. He
AJ
kept
beat
coming back.
Parker. AJ
Yes,
beat Parker.
yes. Okay.
Questionable.
But I'm not going to put him, in the top 10 of all time, or
None of these
Fury
guys-
or
listen,
Wilder.
Listen,
Fury or Wilder.
here's my
Okay.
thing.
I'll
You
respect that.
talk about Wilder. He didn't fight anybody. Fury's in the same one.
Yeah.
You're having a great. You
No,
don't
you're
make
right.
any
No.
sense. You're
Who
arguing
did
with
Wilder-
Floyd.
Fury
No,
beat
Fury.
Wilder.
Right.
Fury
Besides
beat
that-
Wilder.
Right.
That's the difference.
Right.
He beat Wilder, yes. And he
Beat the heck out of
You know
him.
what? They did
And
their
he got
job.
dropped 5 times.
They did
and he
their-
got dropped 5 times.
They did
You
their
can't give
job.
one credit, not the
They
other.
did their
That's
job.
why your argument is flawed.
They fought the guys who were in front of them, and they beat him, with the exception of Anthony Joshua. Neither one of them
Anthony
fought.
Joshua is ducked
But-
both of them, huh?
Yeah. Well, but I'm just saying, Wilder, to your point,
Thank you.
okay,
Thank you
he
very
hasn't fought anybody. What
but
am I
we're
talking
not
about? Sean
slandering.
O'Grady. Look on his resume. Evander Holyfield fought everybody.
point.
Muhammad Ali, he did fight some names.
Who else in
We
his
talk
area
about Vinny
got-
Paz.
who else in his
Vinny
area
wouldn't
has
duck
42
anybody.
wins?
Vinny would fight everybody.
Yeah.
Who else in his area has 43 wins? Fury doesn't.
Right.
AJ
Nor is he
doesn't.
going to
But in this era,
Ortiz
he got
doesn't.
4 losses. He got 4 losses in this era.
Zhang, real quick before we
how
go,
many
And
of
the
them
time.
almost
How many
done.
came to Fury? Half of them came to Fury. Who you say is so great?
Will Zhang get a title shot? Or are they going to wait till he's 50?
Yeah, I think they're going to try to age him out like they did Wilder and Ortiz.
And I give him credit because he's lost 2. One, he knocked him down, but he keeps coming
He
back.
keeps coming back.
You've always
they're
liked
gonna age.
Zhang.
They're going to age him out. He needs to have a title shot like ASAP.
Well, Zhang is a modern day Ernie Shavers. They're going to try to age him out before they fight him. But
Well,
if
they,
they
Shavers
won't-
did have some
he-
title fights.
He
Huh?
did. Shavers
Against
had
Muhammad.
title
well, he was
fights.
old. The
not
Acorn
against
was
Muhammad.
old.
Zhang is
No,
41.
he was old against
Jim,
Muhammad.
Zhang is 41. They've already aged him out. He's
Well,
still
wait a
holding
minute,
on.
wait a minute.
He's still
It's
holding
the same,
on.
It's the same one that made your boy look like he was with the Temptation.
Oh, yeah,
When he
that was a great
bad.
line. I got to say,
Come on, Jim.
that was a great line.
He caught him with a great shot.
I would say
He's
this.
a power
I
puncher.
would say this, and we only got a minute to go. The referee saved Wilder's career. Because me, if I'm the referee and you walk to me, I'm letting you fight.
But he was
And
stumbling. He didn't walk.
Zhang would have ended his career.
Yeah.
I think Wilder can come back, and I think he can beat Big Baby.
That fight's
in
not
September.
happening. That's fight not happening.
Why not?
It might be Big Bang Zhang and
Well,
Big Baby.
You know
Big
what,
Baby
though?
better stay
You know
away
what?
from
Big
Big Bang.
I'm calling
Big
it right
Baby's
now.
team, they ain't stupid. They may go after Wilder. What do they call that? Passing the torch.
Yeah.
Passing the young up-and-coming kid, Marciano Joe Lewis. Of course,
Listen,
Joe Lewis wasn't that damn old.
Wilder's one of my
But-
favorite fighters. I'm pleading with his team.
Muhammad,
Retire.
Larry Holmes,
Yeah.
so on and so forth. You know, there's the passing of the torch.
There's no. I don't want to see that torch pass. Let it go. Retire. Come see me. We'll make
I'm
this
with you.
movie.
No.
His life is a movie at this time.
Yeah.
His next move
Jim
should be
ain't going.
writing movies
Jim ain't
or his
going.
book.
7 kids.
If it's
Out
on
there
ABC
all-
Jim,
and you
listen,
watch
stop,
it,
Jim.
if it's free on ABC, would you watch the Wilder fight movie?
No.
That's a blockbuster. That is a blockbuster.
All right. Well, as
He'll be in the
always,
next Creed movie, by the way.
we hope you enjoy our show as much as we enjoy bringing it to you. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Boxing Authorities.